2032 Master Plan includes 32 venues within southeast Queensland for the 28 Olympic sports, located in 3 primary zones, connected by high-quality road and rail transport networks. The Brisbane zone is the location for 22 venues. The spectacular Brisbane River Cluster includes 4 venues and will also be home to the International Broadcast Centre and Main Press Centre. The Brisbane Cricket Ground will host the athletics competition and the Olympic and Paralympic opening and closing ceremonies. The Brisbane Convention and Exhibition Centre will host 4 Olympic sports and 5 Paralympic sports. Located in the adjacent riverfront parkland is the South Bank Piazza and the Cultural Forecourt. The Brisbane City Cluster will accommodate 2 key venues, the new Inner City Brisbane Arena and the Brisbane Football Stadium. The Hurston Cluster includes the Brisbane Showgrounds, the beautiful Victoria Park, Ballymore Stadium and the Brisbane Indoor Sports Centre. The Chandler Cluster includes 4 venues, the Animeers Velodrome, the Brisbane Aquatic Centre, the Brisbane International Shooting Centre and the Chandler Indoor Sports Centre. The Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Village will be located in the 300-hectare North Shore Hamilton Priority Development Area. Adjacent to the Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Village is the Royal Queensland Golf Club. 2 venues are located in the north of the city, the Brisbane Entertainment Centre and the planned Moreton Bay Indoor Sports Centre. Situated in the east of Brisbane are 2 venues, the Manly Boat Harbour and the planned Redland Whitewater Centre. 3 existing venues are situated in Brisbane South and Southwest, the Queensland Tennis Centre, Lake Wyaralong in the beautiful Scenic Rim and the newly constructed Ipswich Stadium. The Gold Coast zone comprises 6 venues. 2 venues make up the Broadbeach cluster, the Gold Coast Exhibition and Convention Centre and the Broadbeach Park Stadium. The Gold Coast Sports and Leisure Centre is located within 7 kilometres of Broadbeach and will host 3 Olympic and Paralympic sports. Located in Southport is the Broadwater Parklands. And located in the north of Gold Coast City is the Coomera Indoor Sports Centre. The Gold Coast Olympic and Paralympic Village is located within a planned residential development in Robina. It will be home to over 2,600 athletes and team officials. 2 minutes from the village is the Gold Coast Stadium. The Sunshine Coast Zone will host 4 venues. The Kawana Precinct includes the Sunshine Coast Stadium and the Sunshine Coast Indoor Sports Centre. The Alexandra Headland venue will accommodate road events and kiteboarding competition. The Sunshine Coast Mountain Bike Centre will host Olympic mountain bike competition. The Sunshine Coast Athletes Satellite Village is located in the heart of the new Maroochydore City Centre in the Sunshine Coast. Regional football will be hosted in Townsville, Toowoomba and Cairns. Australia's 2 previous Olympic hosts, Sydney and Melbourne, will also host football prelims and quarterfinals, enabling Australia-wide engagement. The Brisbane 2032 Master Plan will showcase the diverse and spectacular region of southeast Queensland, its cities, beaches and hinterland. The Games will leave a legacy of new and upgraded facilities and a better connected, more sustainable region.
Australia, it's been a while since we've seen you.
You've been stuck at home all this time.
So we reckon you deserve a holiday.
You deserve to stretch your legs.
You deserve a little sun and fun.
You deserve some chill time.
A bit of thrill time.
A bit of you time.
Australia, you deserve to play through.
You deserve a long lunch.
You deserve a sleep in.
You deserve to hang out. Woo!
You deserve a drink.
Or 2.
Australia, you deserve some playtime.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to IQI Australia Friday Prop Talk. My name is Lee Yan, and I'm your host this evening. We are broadcasting live from the world number 6 most livable city, Perth, Western Australia. Well, you deserve a holiday. I really like that little video just then. It reminds me we haven't been traveling for a long time, and hopefully we all get to travel very, very soon. Now, before I introduce our guest speaker tonight, let me just quickly introduce who we are. What do we do at IQI? So IQI stands for International Quality Investment. We are Perth-based sales and marketing real estate agency. We specialize in off-the-plan project marketing and brand new house and land packages as well. And we also do sub-sale secondary market. So if you are a buyer, seller, or investor, looking to either put your properties onto the market or you want to buy something to live in or invest, do get in touch with us. And I believe our contact detail will pop up on the screen later. So do take note. If not, leave us a comment below. One of our team members will get in touch with you. Now, at IQI, our aim is to empower our buyers to become a global resident and transform our buyers to international investor as well with a diverse portfolio. That's why from time to time, you will see us bringing a different project from, say, overseas and sometimes interstate as well. So today, we would like to bring you another great opportunity in Gold Coast. And I'm not sure if you have noticed that recently, you probably see us gearing, change our direction a little bit, gearing towards Queensland. You probably wonder why, and I'll let our guest speaker tell you why. But just briefly though, I have recently just done a short video on September property market update, just looking at how the market is performing, and the data is very encouraging. So Brisbane housing value has continued to increase in the month of September by 1.8%, and bringing the quarterly growth rate to 5.9% over the September quarter, which is the highest amongst the major capitals. So that is exciting news, and probably in the next 12 months, you will see a lot of people, trying to go into that market. And hence, that's why we thought we'll bring in extra, new opportunity for our investor here, overseas as well, to look into the Brisbane market. Okay, now, without further ado, let me introduce our guest speaker tonight, Nicole Tam. And Nicole is a business development director at Jinding, Queensland. So Jinding first launched in Melbourne in 2016 with a vision to become one of Australia's leading property developer, real estate company, and fund managers. And currently, Jinding has 5 offices in Australia and has done lots of transaction and few development in the pipeline. So one of the project that we're going to share with you today is one of their project in Gold Coast. And Nicole herself has been in the industry for over 15 years now, and not only she's a very experienced and a knowledgeable person, she herself is also an investor, so she can share with you her just personal experience working, both working and investing. So let me bring Nicole to the floor. Oh, she's already on the floor. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Leanne. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know it's a little bit late over there on your side. Yeah,
it's about 10 o'clock here, but that's okay. It's my pleasure. And I always enjoy talking to yourself and everyone at IQI.
Yeah, we love your presentation as well. And we always learn so much from, how you share the information. It's so detailed. Yeah. And this evening, I believe you have a lovely project that you're going to share with us. And
yes, that is correct.
And you also have some update on the market for us as well.
Yes, that is correct. So looking at the video, like you were just saying before, it's like you deserve to have a holiday. You deserve to have a barbecue. It just really gives me the goosebump about this is exactly where I am and how lucky I am. And then your data was correct. And then just to, what I'm going to share today just to give everyone an idea, in the next hour or 45 minutes or so, I'm going to start with some of the drill more into the market data, the reason why the property price is going up, and then we're going to explore how deep is the market here, because people always will think that, oh, it's now, and how long and how much growth, like if it's so quick, where would that be, and then what at what point would that be too much? So we're going to explore that, and then the second part of the presentation, I'm going to touch on the new project that we have as a recommendation on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, sounds great. Over to you. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you. All right. So as what we were talking about before, and it's really my pleasure today to actually talking to everyone and about the market. Now, as you can see on the slide now, it says the big heading is why is now the best time to invest in the Gold Coast, that Gold Coast and there's a golden market. So I think this whole thing, there's a lot of things that's driving all these prices going up on the Gold Coast. And then like what Leanne was saying before, the last quarter or the last 6 months, the amount of growth that we're getting for both in Queensland, Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, and Gold Coast is phenomenal. And we are really right now, in the past only few months, experiencing a double-digit growth, which is really unseen of. Now, just to give you a little bit of background and then get everyone even more excited about why I'm excited sharing that energy, is that one of the data actually says that Gold Coast has grown not only double digits, we're really talking about 15 to 18% growth in capital growth just in the past 6 months, 1 year. And let's have a look at reason why. Okay, number one, I think when we're talking about the properties, we always, and we know from number one as a rule of thumb, basic is demand and supply. So what drives the demand and what drives the supply? Now, this goes hand in hand. So obvious supply will come when there's demand, and developers sees there's demand in the market for dwelling, they're going to build more. And then so what drives the demand is when population increase. So the number one rule of thumb, if we're looking at the population increase in Queensland, yes, we all know, and then from a previous presentation, people know that, oh, I know the interstate migration is now coming into Queensland without the international traveling at the moment. Queensland is already experiencing a high demanding housing because the population come in. But let's have a look at this graph here. Very simple. Everything you see here, it's Queensland. Now, and you could see even Gold Coast is outperforming in terms of population growth in the past year also. And you can see that the split of the population, then we understand the amount of people that are coming onto the Gold Coast, or let's say Queensland as a whole. But not every city in Queensland is equal. Hence, that's what I show. Now, if we want to do state by state, and then we want to know where are the people coming from, you can see like Queensland alone have a population growth of 43,000-ish. Now, this is a data that we've done in March this year, end of March, and we're now in October. So have a think about this data may not be accurate. And in fact, by the time that border is open, not just international yet, even interstate border is opening, I think in December the 17th, then what's going to happen is going to be an influx of population even further coming into Queensland. Obviously, according to the previous graph, they were all going to different parts of Queensland. Now, going on about while you're reading why is now the best time investing in Gold Coast, I'm just going to talk about that population, because think about this. A lot of people didn't understand, when I migrated to Australia was 1989. 1989 was a long time ago. I've seen Queensland grown. I've seen a city in change for the past 40, 30 decades. But what a lot of people didn't understand and in our head is that, oh, Australia's got big land, and they've got big families. So one thing we need to know is for 40,000, let's say 43,000 people that are coming into Queensland, exactly how many dwellings do we actually need? New dwellings or existing dwellings? Think about this. So the census that not the one we just done like some time ago, many years ago, the census has already appealed that in Australia, 1.6 people each is staying in one dwelling. Now, if that's the case, then 43,000 people divided by 2, you really need at least 20,000 properties somewhere in that market to supply to influx of people that are coming in. So we will talk about demand and supply, and I'll talk about supply in my later slide. But hold your thought for now. 20,000 dwellings what we need in Queensland. And have we got enough in the past that's vacant to secure these people, or do we need more? So hence we're coming to the key point of Gold Coast apartment. You can see here, the Gold Coast apartment sales have surged 97%. It's crazy. The property price has gone up on the average of 23% over the previous years, on the last year. Now, and the reason why about Gold Coast is we got to think of this way. Like, yes, I understand and I do agree, because like what Liam was saying, I'm a property investor myself, and I've been in this industry and then predominantly in new project development and understanding government's infrastructure in and out, inside out, for so long. And I've been doing this for now coming up to about 17, 18 years. So I think apart from many things, we talk about demand, supply, we talk about investment, it's about location. Price is important. It is important, but it's a combination of a few things. You want to be close to school, close to amenities. You want to be close to public transport. And then on top of that, with infrastructure surrounding, so then your property will grow, and then probably even grow faster than others, and probably going to grow more than others. But one thing that we always know in the rule of thumb is that X factor, or what we call the irreplaceable value. Now, what Gold Coast is all about now, if you look at that wording right there, is unique lifestyle. So any other city, like any other places that you've got all these ingredients I just mentioned about, it will be okay. But something, and we all know in our industry, or even not in our industry, when people walk into this beautiful property, and they can imagine and picture themselves to being there, and then if money is not a matter, they will buy. So that is that emotional buying that you're really looking for in secondhand market to really realize that your property has grown. So this unique lifestyle is something that you could not buy, and money, it's just like a views. It will actually worth more to one person than the other. It's very, very subjective. Hence, it's very unique. All right, so what we're going to talk about is, so we talked about all this in lifestyle, we talked about the demand, and the hold your thoughts, we're going to the supply shortly. But before that, remember at the beginning I said to Leanne, we're going to also discover the fact that because a lot of people have said to me, oh, Nicole, but if you said that there's a double-digit growth in the past only 6 months or 1 year alone, and this is even still in the so somewhat COVID time. So if this is keep on going for a few years to come, it's great for investors like ourselves that already gone into the market on the Gold Coast. But what if, like, how deep is the market, and how long will this growth be? Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but what we know is that all of a sudden we have your Olympic that we're talking about. So before the talk starts, there was this wonderful video about Gold Coast, about Queensland, and then before that was this Olympic Games that, and then it also goes on into quite a detail about what are the games and where are they going to be hosting. So have a think about this. So in about 10 years time, in 2032, we have Olympic Games. Yes, it's called Brisbane, the Olympic City. However, we all know from the video that we have played in the very, very beginning of this presentation, the whole idea of 2032 Olympic Games, it's going to change the way the global seeing the Queensland, like seeing Australia as a whole, and then going to Queensland. Queensland is going to enjoy a lot of economic benefits, a lot of large-scale investments, and the global noticing about this city. Obviously, we think ourselves, the infrastructure that was supposed to be and already in place will be expedited from the government to make sure that we're delivering and we are able to host a game as such. And it's such a glory. Okay, now let's look at these Olympic Games. And then I think one of the most important things is to understand out of the 28, I think the number 4 bullet point out of the 28 sports events, 7 of them alone, it's going to be on the Gold Coast. So really, you can imagine in that year, a lot of traveler, like even from interstate, will come to Queensland. And then global as a whole, internationally, we will have visitors coming into Australia and then into Queensland. And then they're going to travel according to the game they want to watch. And they're going to spend, all this retail and all the hospitality. So all this is all economical benefits for us. And guess what that's going to be? It's not just about 2032. It's the 5 years before that 2032. The whole global is going to talk about it. The large scale investment is going to come in. And everyone is looking at it knowing that is something. Now, if that's the fact, we all like to know if it's a fact. You must be able to demonstrate some numbers or evidence. Let's have a look at this. The impact of any major events that on the housing prices. So let's say, for example, back into about 2015, during that time for G20 summit that comes to Brisbane. Now, I still remember before that, a lot of people talking about Australia, the first thing they thought about is Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and then maybe Brisbane. And then, so people really doesn't really know where Brisbane's all about. Now, at G20 summit, it actually puts Brisbane somewhere. Now, but then it took 12 years. So they announced the news back in 2003, saying that by 2015, they're going to host this G20 summit where the global, all these leaders from different countries going to come and have this meeting in Brisbane. Now, look at the housing price. It went double. It went growth by 112%. Now, arguably, you would say, yeah, Nicole, but that was like 12 years in making. Obviously, that's a one full property cycle. If not, that's more. So it makes sense that properties should go double. Yes, and I agree. But if you look at Sydney Olympic, similarly, from the time they actually announced that they're going to have Sydney Olympic was back in 1993. And Sydney Olympic actually happened in year 2000. Now, that whole 6 or 7 years, the Sydney property price jumped by 60%. That's not even a full cycle in terms of time, but it has grown. Now, and this also, what I want to really draw into is a lot of people as a speculates. And what they do is they will say, and media will say this too, say, and this happens in Sydney, and I see it by myself. What happens before, because the property price gone up, and then by year 2000, just before the Olympic, people start saying, oh, it's great the Olympic is growing, but what happens after Olympic? It's going to drop. And did it happen? It probably stopped a little bit, like plateau for a few years. And then by 2003 and 4, it started again. So this is always what happens. And I think this is the depth of the market that we're into. Now, and let alone to mention that Gold Coast itself have a vigorous economy itself. People always think that we are only a tourism city, but that's not true. And if you bear with me, we will talk about what are the focuses into growing this city, and then what are the numbers that we will be looking at before we go into all these beautiful pictures about this project. Now, I did promise everyone that we will talk about, and we did talk about the demand. Remember that rough number of 43,000 people that has came to Queensland, and that was the data that has done on the end of March. Remember the number. And remember we divided by, let's say, 2, right? And then we worked out it's probably about roughly 20,000 dwellings that's really needed in this market. Now, let's have a look at this newspaper right in front of you right now. It reads, Gold Coast new apartment stock shrink as unprecedented demand drives sales boom. Okay, now in a nutshell, what this newspaper actually says is on my right-hand side of the slide. It's a rapid increase in trading volumes. If you look at this, 987 properties were sold in the whole year of 2020 on Gold Coast. Now, only 1 quarter, 3 months of this year, 2021, 1,192 dwellings has already been sold. So 1 quarter, 3 months of the turnover in terms of number of dwelling has already outweighed the whole year of sales last year. Of course, people will say, Nicole, but 2020, really, that's COVID time. I agree to disagree. Why? Because in Australia, yes, it's relatively still impacted, but Queensland, I remember since June, we were pretty free. And we even had the first home buyers grant, a lot of different government stimulated incentives. The whole market started growing since September last year, like no tomorrow, seriously. And I think for myself being in this market for this long, the star has really aligned for us. The interest rate is really low here at the moment. Because of the demand is so high, the supply is so low, the vacancy rate is dropping. And so you're really looking at vacancy rate like that. So it really dropped less than 1%. And one of the data that I saw only a few days ago, it actually says 0.4% on the Gold Coast. That is really, really low because the national usual average is 3%. We're dropping below 1%. So, that few things I talked about. So the demand's high, the supply is low. And then the vacancy rate now becomes, because the housing becomes tight, the vacancy rate now becomes really, really low. And guess what? The rent is now pushing upwards. So if you do the math yourself, and when you do the math yourself, then you realize, oh my God, the return is really good. And we haven't even started talking about capital growth. However, though, the later you leave it to coming into this market, the more the price will be growing. Then when you do the ratio of what I just discussed in a few things together, it may not align as beautiful as it is right now. So the opportunity is only for the right people and only and always, because we were always looking for the perfect property, the perfect partner, the perfect thing. But we all understand people that waited for the perfect things to happen are people that are still waiting today. So let's have a look at the drop in supply. Now, back in 2018, second quarter, 2,594 dwellings was supply. Now, remember, I don't think I did mention all this number includes second-hand property, brand new property, everything on the Gold Coast, okay? So that is a year of very high supply in one quarter. Think about that. Now, if you look at this year, and just the same quarter, but different year, only 624 dwellings available, and that includes the second hand. See how much it dropped? And then in terms of how much of this is actually happening, and that's why the price is pushing up really, really crazy without international investors really seriously coming in because they couldn't travel here. Now, who's been buying? Now, you want to know that because I want to know that too. And every time when I look at all these analysis, I will always ask a question. And I want to make sure that I cover that because it really justifies all these different numbers. Now, who's been buying that? Is it overseas people that never see that? Or is it retiree? So have a look at this. 56% are people that buy owner-occupiers. When you have owner-occupiers buying into their own market, what does that mean? There's a confidence level. The confidence level about the economy, about the property growth, about the need, about be proud about where we are has never really been, it's unseen of in Queensland at the moment. Now, and then out of that, you've got Queensland investors accounted for 19%, and the interstate investors accounted for 21%. And look at these, overseas investors only 4%. So it's very different to a cycle a few years ago where people are thinking, oh, I think there's a lot of overseas investors, they're buying the sight unseen and things like that. Yes, that was a few years ago, but that certainly is not the market right now. You really have to get in and then really capture this moment. All right, now let's moving on. We've talked about that one. And then we'll talk a little bit about the rental in this area at the moment. So our project is where the red circle is called SORA. And I'll go into much more details about the project in about less than 3 minutes, probably about 5 minutes, and it will go into the project. Now, the surrounding long-term rental market, it's rent about $575 a week for 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car. And it's about $695 a week for 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and 1 car. Now, this is also in short-term rental market. We all know Gold Coast, Surfers Paradise, there could be a possibility you could do a long-term rental or you can even do a short-term rental to capture the market, especially the high season of tourists that are influx coming in Christmas time. And you can see the occupancy level is really, really high. Now, this is where I like to change my slide. So what I'm going to do is to change the slide here, and then we will. And you know what? I think before we change the slide, I like to give everybody a breathing time from me talking, and then also have a look at this wonderful video of this project that we're about to start talking about. Now, there's few data and of the market that I haven't really covered enough, which I will go through together with the project, because there will be a better flow that way. So let's do that. So I'm gonna share another screen, and we will share the video for you. Here we are. Okay. Now the video runs about 2 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Okay, all right, so that will give you an idea about the project that we're going to discuss today. I'm really excited about it because from the second part of the presentation, I really hope that everyone can see what I see. And I prepared some video as well while I'm walking, and I hope that you will see and get as much as from the talk today. So let's go through with the slide again, and then we'll have little other video to show about the actual location. All right, now here we are. Okay, great. All right, so as you can see at the moment, the middle part, so this building here in the middle here, so it's like few buildings, but right in the middle, that one is SORA. Now, SORA is actually a Japanese word, means sky. So the original design of the building was from a Japanese concept. That's why we're keeping the Japanese concept, and I'll explain why. Now, obviously that one, because the building is not yet being built, so this is an artist's impression, but all the remaining surrounding are the same, are actual. But then this is from a handphone. So somebody taken these and then share with me, and this is nothing gets anything real than this. And look at the sunset, and then look at the sunrise. Now, on the Gold Coast, 70 kilometers of golden sand. That's what's really famous, really renowned for. Now, and also what's best about this ocean is that it's on the eastern side, because we're on the eastern seaboard. So you are able to see from the pitch dark to actually start seeing the sunrise on the ocean. It's absolutely beautiful. And in saying that, how about the sunset? Look at that. It's beautiful. All right. Now, this slide shows about how much in terms of direct flight, and then the amount of people that are traveling back and forth, and then also the location-wise on the eastern seaboard, direct flight to Sydney and Melbourne. So Melbourne's about 2 hours. Sydney is about 1.5 hours. And then also to Cairns, and obviously from here you can also fly to Perth as well. So it's very, very simple. And also internationally for Gold Coast Airport, it's also an international airport. Now let's talk about the location here. This is the actual map. Now, as you could see, where the red big banner says SORA, and there's a little pointy side. So that building there, it's exactly where SORA is. So as you could see, you are actually very, very second row to the ocean. So you are safe from all the sand and all the wind that could actually, the wind gusts that could be coming into your unit, and then all the tea and wear that could actually happen if you're on the front of the ocean, but you're on the second row. So less of those erosion, and you know what, it's actually really nice. Now let's have a look at the location wise. So you're only 1 kilometer away from the actual walk, the shopping precinct of Surfers Paradise. Now SORA, it's on the Gold Coast in Surfers Paradise. So it's very, very close. Now you're 20 kilometers away to the Gold Coast International Airport, and then you're only 1 kilometer away to Broad Beach. So what that really means is, if you focus on this yellow line here, so we are then onto the one side of the to the left, to the ocean, to the right, you get to the G-Link. What G-Link is on, G-Link is a public transport. On the Gold Coast, apart from the bus, you've got G-Link. So it's like a light rail. Now, so one light rail station is right at the door. So at light rail station, you're 2 stations away to casino and exhibition center. Remember the beginning of the presentation I mentioned about irreplaceable location? We're talking about infrastructure. So really the one and only, and there's only 1 exhibition center, there's only 1 casino on the Gold Coast. So you're only 2 train stations away, light rail. So that's about 4 minutes. And then 1 more station, you get to one of the largest shopping center in Queensland called Pacific Fair. And then also this light rail is the infrastructure of Gold Coast. This is only stage 1 and 2 of the construction. Now, what stage 3 is going to do is from the Pacific Fair, that the largest shopping center, keep on going south along the beach, passing Burleigh Head, and then get to Gold Coast Airport. So imagining in another few years, you traveling from overseas to be here, you don't have to even hire a car. You don't have to do any of that. You can hop onto the G-Link, and then you can couple stations along the ocean, enjoy the scenery, and then you can get to SORA. It's that easy. Now, just wanted to, before I play a little video about the walking distance to the ocean, to the station, have a look at this on the other side. So if we're taking a area shot from the ocean looking back, see the red banner is, and that is SORA. Now on this picture, what I really like you to pay attention with is the surrounding building. Apart from the building at the front and the back, so it's on the 2 sides squeezing. It looks squeezing, but it's actually not. But if you look at the ocean side of the view, and also into the river, river is what we call the hinterland and river, there isn't really much of the blockage. They're all very little houses, and then in fact adjacent to us, this little area here, if I could show you under this one here, so that pointy rooftop, that is actually a restaurant. It's what we call a surf club on the Gold Coast, and it won't get built. So this is only adjacent to us, and that's pretty much protected. Now, as what I said, and then you, so you can see the surrounding, and then now the Narain River at nighttime, what we call the hinterland view, it's beautiful because you get to see the lights and everything. Now, the closest school from our site is 1.4 kilometers to Surfers Paradise State School. and that is like a few minutes drive. And obviously, you're only about 15 minutes drive to the Southport Racecourse, which is the only one and only as well. Okay, now what we will do here is I like to share some videos. So let me have a look here. The video will demonstrate how close it is, and then sort of like imagine you were right there. So let me just stop sharing here and then share the video for you. And then you'll be able to see, because I literally walk there, and then right here we are. So the top left-hand corner is imagining if you're coming outside, out of the site, and then turning left. And then I'm going to stop right here. See that building that I was pointing at, that one there? That's the surf club that won't get built. And then on the other side, onto the left-hand side, that's that white little building. So that's another building. And then you keep going, you'll be able to walk to the ocean very quickly. So if you have a look, and in seconds, that is let's see, about 55, that's a 55 minutes, not minutes, seconds walk to go to the ocean. And that's how close it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another one. So I'll stop sharing there. And then we'll share another one. Now, another one's very simple. So that is turning left. How about let's turning right? And then let's see how close it is to the public transport. Here we are. Again, similar concept. So on the left-hand side, you can see. So as you were walking, and then a similar concept in seconds. So that's 175 meters to go to the G-Link station. And obviously across the road. So what I think is so easy is that because sometimes when you have a train station like this or light rail station like this, it's a little bit embarrassing. Sometimes you're in between stations. So that could happen. But in our scenario, this is actually very, very, very easy public transport. Okay, now let's go back to our slide, and then we can talk about the surrounding. Okay, now in surrounding, why is the Gold Coast are so famous apart from the lifestyle and everything? The one and only, again, if you go a little bit further out and then looking from this view in Australia as a whole, we have a lot of the one and only theme park. So if you look at here, you've got Warner Brothers Movie World, you've got SeaWorld, and really Warner Brothers Movie World is where like Universal Studio, when very similar, and then when they come, and a lot of the celebrities, they come and they actually stays here and do the filming. So it's actually quite special. And then on this note, I also want to share, when I got migrated here in 1989, think about all this long time ago, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, when the international flight wasn't as frequent or as economical, guess what? Everyone and all the Australian people have this idea, that the Gold Coast market, the Gold Coast is like a golden child to everyone, and not just the market itself. The dream is to bring the family at the end of the, at Christmas time as a holiday, to bring the family here. So now, because during this COVID time, because of how Queensland has also managed with the COVID situation, we didn't really go in a lot of lockdown. So it really drives a lot of interstate, and plus the way I think COVID have changed the way we work, changed the way we think about things and prioritize our life and what's important for us. So people are spending and actually making adjustments to focus on themselves more. So a lot of people are making the interstate migration changes into different lifestyle, or they will use the equity from home, let's say from Sydney or Melbourne property, and then buying a holiday home on the Gold Coast. And then during the year, they use it as a cash cow to actually getting more return into their money and into the property, so getting all this rental return, and then goes into the tax benefit as well. And then probably during the school holiday, they can bring the kids over and they enjoy a stay. And I think, you know, it ticks all the boxes. It's really dreams come true. And really, Gold Coast at the moment, it's not expensive as compared to other capital city. So that's why it's being driven like that, with all these emotional reason, and then back up with all these numbers that I've shared with you today. And hence, Gold Coast it's right there. And not really just Gold Coast, it's the whole Queensland. Now, on the screen here, all I really want to share is about obviously the right-hand side. Now, the myth about Gold Coast is thinking it's a tourism city. It has been, and I have to say it has been some time ago. And then, but I think back into about 2008, when the global financial crisis happens, Gold Coast mayor has suddenly realized and also understand, the government understands, a city 100% or let's say majority of the income are coming from as an international tourism city is great as a complement, but it's a very high risk. So if you look at the left-hand side here, right-hand side here that I already say, the Gold Coast City Council have changed the focus. They're building Gold Coast as an educational city second to Melbourne. And then in the education city, not only that, they're going to focus on health, focus on research, development. So you can see every 5 people that you meet, I think one of them are in healthcare. And then there's a lot of education training as well. Speaking about university, where SORA is, you're only 20 minutes away to Gold Coast University, and then also 12 minutes to Bond University, which is the only private university in Australia. Now, this graph, I really want to show you this. Again, this is going to give you another perspective about what I just mentioned about population coming in. Now, if you look at these on the on the left-hand side corner, on the top, so 2019 in April, we have 500,000. So 560,000 people coming through Gold Coast Airport. Okay, obviously, no doubt about that in 1 month. That's a lot of, and given the population of Gold Coast alone, 560,000 people, it's a lot. And then, but last year, obviously, because of COVID time, it's only 1,590 people. So that's fine. And let's look at this year. This year, April, same month, but this year alone, it's 400,000 people. Now, April this year, there's no international flight coming to Gold Coast. So where are these people coming from? Interstate. And you know what? These people coming interstate, we haven't even including people that drove here, that are waiting at the border getting a permit to come in. So this really saying that again about the population growth, and this is without international even opening. Imagining when international is opening, what's going to happen into this whole Queensland, and then where is the first stop where international travelers is going to come? Now, on the right-hand side, what I really wanted to say is that a lot of people will say, yes, I love the ocean and everything else, but then they will say, you know what, I really want to just get a house, like same location. But sometimes you really have to invest into what is actually reasonable. And so what's more popular, so the right type of product for the right market and then for the right pricing, for example. So you can see here 81% of properties or dwellings in Surfers Paradise are units and apartments. So if you're talking about same destination to the ocean or to the G-Link, you wanted to have a house, imagining how much that house would be and then what kind of rental return will you achieve as an investment. I don't think that's going to be very lucrative as an investment in terms of rental return in terms of in this scenario. Now, instead of talking about the rental return in this graph, I want to be even more precise and even more visually effective. So in this here, you can see the circle here is where SORA is. And then if you look at all this area here, I'm not sure how big you can see my slides here, but I just wanted to, I can read it to you. So in this one here, it actually is a 1-bedroom for 2 person. And this is short-term stay, right? We talked about long-term stay in my previous set of slides, but here is short-term stay. Look at this. Then it's a 2nd of September. So that's a weeknight, and it's a weekday. So that is actually a Thursday night. It's $372 a day for one night. Now, the same property, the next day, which is a Friday night, it went from $372 a night to $417 a night. So, and then even just quick thinking, that day, whether it was weekend or weekday, it's not a school holiday period. It's not a public transport at all, a public holiday at all. So what I'm really trying to say is, let's imagining this $372. Let's just say $300 a night, or even just make it simple. And then think about it, 5 nights, you're getting about $1,500. And then let's say out of the whole week, 7 days, you've got 2 vacant days. So be it. But $300 a night, which I've discounted already, times by 5. So that is 15. So 1,500 per week. And times by 4 for 1 month. And that's about 6,000. So, and then this is a 1-bedroom, which the sales price is probably about less than 500,000 Australian dollars. You do the math yourself. This is more than 5% return. This is 6%, it's 7% return in short-term accommodation, where I have discounted the price per night, and I have also incorporated that out of 7 nights, we'll only probably lease out for 5 nights. So if you want to be even more conservative, so be it, we can. And I can guarantee you the number that you're going to run is still going to be really nice. And hence, a lot of people are investing here now. All right, now let's go into the project now. And this is just the A to B is the distance to the ocean, which we played the actual real-time video. But this is really showing you where we are. And then you look at all these houses surrounding are very, very small, very low. Only the one in front of us, I think that's about 15 story. The one behind us is about 26 story. Now you need to be not cautious, but understanding these are older apartments. And what older apartment means is that they don't really do rooftop swimming pool like we do now, or like a lot of other development will do. In the old days, they only allowed on the ground. And then like this one here, they even have tennis court. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, remember, we're talking into the city, into the ocean, another side of the view into the Nerang River and the hinterland. All these are low like houses. So you're gonna get really good views, which either way, honestly. And then one side to the ocean have to the east, and then to the west to the Nerang River. All right, now we've covered that. Now we really need to talk about these parties where Geeling really takes. I did talk about where our station would be. In 2 station time, you get into your casino, and then you're 1 station away from Surfers Paradise, or 2 stations away from where the shopping center is, the shops are. And then really, if you're looking at where you're going, you can go to Chinatown. You can even go to Griffith University, hospital precinct. If you go to the end of the station, Helensville, you can then interconnect it to in the proper big train into Brisbane. So this G-Link has been one of the infrastructure for Gold Coast, and has been proven really successful. All right, now Gold Coast, apart from bus G-Link, there's also this share water taxi. You can take 1 station of G-Link from where we are to this location, Surfers Paradise, and hop onto this Hoppo to go to the art center, and goes all the way to SeaWorld as well. Now with SORA, this is our building here. It looks really nice and really functional. So when we go into the designs here, you will be able to see how functional they are. Now, what I like to do is to share with you. I want to change to a brochure, because this is the best way for me to show you the facilities of this project. Now, I hope that we'll have some Q&A time at the end. So if you have questions you'd like to ask, please start noting it down. And then hopefully when we get to the Q&A session, we can do that. And because Q&A session is probably about 10 minutes away, and we'll get into Q&A if we have one. Now, what you see in front of you is the lobby. So lobby is very simple. What we're using is minimalist style. It's very coastal living, very subtle. And then we have 2.5 level of facilities. I'm going to say the 2.5 level. And how many apartments? 128. So out of 228 units and across 26 levels, we have 2.5 level facilities. So it's really geared up for function, for people to enjoy their time staying in this building, or enjoy their holiday while they come to Australia, or to actually reside here. Okay, now as you walk into the entrance, so this is the lobby, which is the image that you saw. Now, because you're so close to the beach, we understand that people will come back with sand on their feet. You want to dry yourself off. So we have designed this also another entrance called the wet entry. So you've got a little Japanese water feature. You can take a shower here and then go through the back door. Or you can probably jump into the pool. And then this one here is a kids plunge pool, so it's much more shallow. And then we've got a spa, and then you've got a sauna, you've got a gymnasium, a gym, a co-working space, and then we have a lounge. Now, all these little offices at the back, because we do actually have not just an on-site manager, we have an on-site concierge manager. So he will look after people that reside in this building. He will look after all the tenants. He also will be able to perform concierge service if you don't want to clean, if you don't want to wash, with additional services and charges, he will be able to provide. Now, so this, what you see in front of you is the lounge and also co-working space. You can also see through the window onto this palm tree that we designed, and also the lap pool. And then when I say 2.5 level, the half level is actually the mezzanine level. So what we decided is that if you are coming with your family and the whole family lives here, you've got younger kids, you've got adults as well. You may have some teenagers as well. So we have designed this game room. So you can see the billiard, so snooker table, arcade game area, and the entertainment area here, like karaoke rooms. So this is gymnasium, swimming pool, the lap pool, and you can see the gym from outside. This is the entry to sauna, and then the spa is just right next to us here. Now, on the rooftop, we have a sky garden. So this is level 26. Now, as much as we like the sun from the Gold Coast, it can be really, really bright. So everything is there's a rooftop in front of, on top. Just let me explain, this is a private dining area, and you've got a sky garden. What that is because everything's uncovered. So we've got a sky garden here with a louver, and then when the weather is really good, you can really open it up and then enjoy the sunbaking. Now the yellow, so the green area is children's play area. We're actually going to install those cushiony on the floor, so cushiony, bouncy floor, so the kids won't get hurt. You can lease out the whole area here as a private area for you to host party. Now, this whole second part of this area is called Sky Lounge or Sky Bar. And then all the surrounding outside is, there's few, not just one, there's few barbecue pots and also sitting lounge. Just to give you an idea of the views. So this is morning. I did mention on the eastern side is the ocean, so you see the beautiful sunrise. And then obviously this is like the dawn, the nighttime. Now, one thing I'd like to draw attention to is focus on this a little bit. So you can see this Narayan River. You can see this beautiful, beautiful skyline of skyscraper. And this is on the southern and western view. So I really don't think there is a bad view in this building, honestly. Now we talk about the undercover roof. So this is the roof, and then you can see all this lounge area. And then that goes into, on the other side, where the southwest area corner, you see the mountain. And obviously, if you look down, you see the river. This is where the sky bar is, and also the lounge outside. This is the private dining room that we talked about. And you can see here where the sky garden is. You can see all that part sort of just, there's no roof there. And also you can see from level 26, doesn't matter where you are in this building, you go up to level 26, you're going to enjoy the view anyway because the view is already there. Now, while we're here, we might as well go through some of the finishes for our 1 and 2 bedroom collections. It's very simple building to understand, to navigate yourself. It's nothing fancy or let's say very hard to get. And you will see when we go through the floor plan a little bit, everything is square. And that's what I meant when we first got the design from Japan. It's very efficient. The design is so efficient and so usable spaces. So you can see floor to ceiling window that gives you all the lights coming into the unit or your apartment. Doesn't matter what area, or it doesn't has to be eastern facing. It doesn't has to be southern facing or what have you. You're gonna get ample lights, sunlight into your unit. It's ducted aircon. Now this render here is from one of the middle 2 bedrooms, looking out to the ocean. It's absolutely beautiful. Imagining waking up to this in the morning. You probably, you know how like the video that Liam played at the beginning, you deserve to stay in bed. You deserve to sleeping. All right, now this render that you see, and as what I mentioned, this is the south west corner. Did you see that beautiful Mount Tambourine? And I can see the Naren River swing by on the bottom. And imagine this is afternoon. Imagine nighttime. You're gonna get all these fairy lights. It's absolutely beautiful. If you like what you see, this is the smallest unit that we have in this building. It's already very nice. All right, now you've got kitchen and also the bathroom, just to showcasing the kind of finishes that we're looking for in the color scheme. All right, now I think at this point, what I'll do is we switch back to our other slides, and then we could finish off on some of the floor plans and things like that. All right, now I like to go back to this slide, and then if you have questions, I'm hoping that we get a chance to have a little Q&A, but we'll see. But if you have questions, please start writing it down now. Now, okay, so we talked about the facilities, we talked about, so what I like to do is instead of going into individual floor plans, we can have a look at these view lines here. So what we've done is there's two lifts supporting 6 units. There's 26 levels, 10 level down is 2 lifts, 6 units. So it's not a big plate where you get out of your lift and you waited for so long for your lift to come. It's very simple. The ratio of lifts and apartments is beautiful. So obviously from level 10 and under, there's 6 units and then 2 lifts. The kind of ocean view you're gonna get. Remember we talk about the 2 building on sides on the 2 sides. So level 16 and level 25, and then so you're still gonna get all these beautiful ocean view, right? And you're gonna get river view and southern view. So there's no problem whatsoever. And then if you wanna look at, so what is the worst view that we're gonna see? This is level 4, and have a look at these. What is the worst? None. So you've got apartment 2, 3, and 4 is looking at these ones here. You might get blocked on here, but then our eyes is not like that. It's not like this picture. Our eyes look at like that. So you're still gonna see some peripheral views. And then you've got unit number 5 and 6, and then look at number 6 is on the corner. So they're all very nice. And obviously, the higher you go, then you go into much more ocean view, and then you get unstoppable river view, and then also this ocean view. So the higher you go, and how high? Now this is level 16. Remember I mentioned this whole building is level 26 levels. So this is probably about a little bit like 2/3 of the building, and then we are already looking at these. And I think one thing to remember, the higher you go, obviously the more ocean you're gonna see, yes. But then you look at that, that's level 4, you still see the ocean. But what really different does it make is this part here. If you look at this Naren River, look at that whole round river. It's quite different. See that? That's level 4. This is level 16. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, let's look at comparison market. I think this is one thing that I will do, and then, but I think the number will speak for yourself. People like to know, and then when I was talking about my pricing, and people would say, oh yeah, I understand, but then I like to know what's going on with other people surrounding yourself. Now, and I always like to say this, you like to compare apple with apple. But in property, it's actually quite hard because construction location is different, design is different, view line is different, the material of building is different. But let's try the best we can is by doing a little bit of comparison so that I feel like I've justified my presentation here. Now look at the left-hand side here. You've got this building here and it talks about 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom for starts at 500,000 and then it goes up to 531, that's without a car. And you've got 2 bedrooms here without a car starts at 745,000. And then you even have 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom that really starts from 900,000 to about 970. Okay, so that's one thing. Surfers Paradise, have a look at that. Esplanade. Now, if you look at the second one here, now what I'm really trying to forget about SORA just for now, but have a think about these and really want to demonstrate is the big extreme 2 sides of spectrum of Gold Coast market at the moment. And we are looking at just apartment and comparing just apartment yet. So look at the middle part. So people are after big unit because they're not just going to move here to invest. They might invest during the meantime, during the year, but then this is their holiday home, or maybe they're moving here. So interstate migration, the whole families move here. So they're after bigger units as well. Look at these, 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom, 255 square meter, 4.58 mil. Now look at that, same address, same size, 3.88. So I can only guess that one probably is higher level with different view, but still higher level, different view. And this is like $700,000, $700,000 of difference. It's, you know what, I think it's very hard for people to look at number trying to justify how and why. But when you get there and when you walk into a unit and you see this view, and that's when you go, I think this is worth this money. Obviously, some people won't think that way, but some people will think that way. So what I'm trying to say, going back to before, we talk about all these demand, supply, the interest rate being low at the moment, the demand, supply pushing everything. So the vacancy is low, the rental is high. And then we talk about, you know, what consists of good location. Close to school, close to amenity, close to public transport, close to be the one and only irreplaceable. We talk about all that. But still, one thing, and that thing is the lifestyle. That is very hard to justify, and that explains this. And then look at this right-hand side. Still, it's 3.1 mil, and then so I think I really probably, and I hope that I have demonstrated the market so well that people are sort of understanding. So where we are at the moment with SORA, it's very similar pricing than this with this left-hand one here. And SORA itself is a what can I say? Because if you look at that previous one that we're doing a little bit in analysis, this is 76 levels. 76, not 26. So the density, number of unit in this building, this is a massive big building, it's beautiful, but the density is a lot bigger than SORA. So this is 2 different kind of product. But if we had to sort of compare the pricing, I think we're really, really on the par of what this market is needing, is what is the affordable luxury living. Our 1 bedroom starts at 459,000, 459,000. And then our 2 bedrooms starts at 719,000. So I actually think we price it really well in a great location with one of the really good design and the density that I think local people liked a lot. So and then on this render here, you'll be able to see what I meant about the Nerang River and then also the Mount Tambering. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, I think that actually concludes my presentation today. And if we have any Q&A, we could actually do that. My host is back.
I know, I'm back. I was like, I mute myself. Click. I'm trying to get used to this new system. Yeah, StreamYard. Yeah. Thank you so much for the presentation, Nicole, the sharing. It's very exciting.
Thank you, Leanne.
All of a sudden feel like I need a holiday home, like really.
Yes. Come to Gold Coast. Come to Queensland. Queensland,
The last time
welcome.
I went to Gold Coast was like 5 or 6 years ago when my little one is still pretty little. Went to Gold Coast, went to Wiggle Lands. Is that Wiggle Lands? Is that what they call it?
Yes. I think every Aussie kids have to go to Wiggle Land.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll just quickly look through chat room. We might miss some of your question. Apologies, because the presentation being shared on a different platform because everyone share out from the main link. So sometimes we might miss your question, but don't worry. When we pick that up, we will reply you individually. Now, the first question here that I got, Nicole, is for foreign investor. So if foreigner want to come in and buy or invest this apartment in Queensland, is there any particular step that they need to observe? Like say, like extra things that they need to know. I know, like for example, that's FIRB. Is there anything extra that they need to sort of be aware of if they're invested in Queensland?
No problem. I guess there's few things, and the first thing across the whole Australia is FIRB approval. So Foreign Review Bureau, Foreign Investment Review Bureau, and it's across Australia, same amount. So for any property that are under as a purchase price under $1 million, at the moment the current rate is $6,350 Australian dollars. It's a one-off application fee. And it's going with the dwelling, not with the person. So each of the dwelling is needing to have the approval. Now, the second thing to be aware is, and into your calculation and cash flow, is the stamp duty as a foreigner. Now, this varies state by state in Australia. Now, in Queensland is a surcharge over 7%. On top of our usual stamp duty. Now, the usual stamp duty alone in Queensland is already lower than major city like Sydney and Melbourne. So we're roughly looking at around about 3%, circa 3%. As an investment. So as a rule of thumb, I always say it's easier, and easy math and calculation, like you can do it like a pro, is about 10%. About 10%, circa 10%, you can straight away work out what a foreign investor will need to pay as a stamp duty base plus a surcharge. Now, number 3, it's more for advanced investor have a portfolio of different Australian properties. That is the land tax component. Now, and luckily, because land tax is state by state, so if you are heavily invested into one state, and then some people prefer like always land over apartments or other different types of investment, it's probably time that you need to think about balancing it out a little bit. Because the land content is the bigger the land content, the more the land worth, then obviously the land tax will kick in. Now you can own as many property as you want in different locations collectively, as long as the land component of that property is not exceeding 750,000, then you're quite okay for Queensland.
Yeah. So that's the 3 main thing that people need to.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so too. Property management. Say if some foreign investor bought it, and do you provide that property management services? And I know that you mentioned about Airbnb as well. Do you provide that sort of services as well?
Yeah, we do. So in this particular project, we are actually the on-site manager, which is also providing the concierge service. He's managing both. So it'll be a choice, and depends on the season of the time, to best capture the rental return for our investors. So sometimes it'll be long-term leasing, sometimes it'll be into the short-term leasing if it's a holiday period, to capture all these thousands of dollars a week. So the guy or the person on site will be managing both. And irrespective whether you're a local buyer, local PR investor, PR holder, or FIRB foreign buyer or investor, it's the same rate for the management rate. And in fact, we will also offer, if it's foreign buyer, we're able to actually pay the the associated cost with the property. For example, the body corporate council rate. When it comes to the manager, we're able to deduct all these fees for them, and then whatever is left, then will go back to their nominated account.
That is
it's not even this property actually for a limited time on a promotion at the moment. We are actually providing a rental guarantee. So it's probably a good time to mention at the moment we are providing a 2-year 5% rental guarantee. The only thing is the purchaser will have to purchase a furniture package. So once they buy the furniture package, we will provide them 2 years, 5% rental guarantee, and with that there is a 7-day free stay.
Wow.
Investors as well to come and occupy. So really it's designed to promote, and we would like you to, like, for all the property owners to be able to come in and really enjoy and stay here and then be proud of what they have chosen to purchase.
You're trying to tempt me to buy one, isn't it?
I tried
many times. Yeah. I like that, the managing company is actually on site as well. It's so efficient. So if the buyer buys it from us, like from you, our team, and then they will get to continue the service through your property management, the local concierge, anything's like any problem with their not problem with the properties. If they have any concern or anything, the manager's on site. They can go up and have a look and problem solve for them, deal with all the bills. That's very excellent.
Yes.
Now, this is a interesting but practical questions, and it's talking about that full length glass that we see, the floor to ceiling high windows. So the practical question would be window treatment. Is that come with the building, or that is an extra thing that the investor has to kind of organize?
Okay, I'm laughing because for a reason, some people didn't want the blind. No, that was a joke. Number one, the glass that you see is double glazed, so it's extra thick. That's number one, because we in Australia, as a standard for building standard, in certain locations, or it's more expensive to do, but we are doing double glazing to provide the soundproof system, and also it's better keeping for the building. Now, and then going back to your question, for the same thing for pre-market opportunity at the moment, for limited time, we are giving out window coverings. And I think it's the best thing the developer has decided to do, because one thing that you didn't want when you come to see your property, you sitting on the ground and look up, and then somebody has installed this hot pink blind, and it's really out there. Not that I don't like pink, but it's just you want everyone, or you want that to keep the outside aesthetic of the building. So no, we are giving out the blinds. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't realize that when they buy property in Australia, it doesn't come with a blind. So so that is a good question that someone actually bring it up. And up to this stage, I only managed to capture those questions. And if we have missed your question, don't worry, we will get back. We'll get back to you. Yeah,
sure.
And I'm aware that we are aware over time, but it's so exciting that I don't want to stop you from talking, because it's very exciting to hear about this project. And so is there anything else that you want to add in, Nicole, before we end the session?
No, I think I've talked a lot tonight, and as you mentioned as well, I was really cautious about the time, but I'm like keep on looking at myself. No, I have to talk about that. I have to cover this. But I think genuinely, I think as a summary, I did mention a couple of times. I think Leanne as well, like for people that has been in the industry for a long time, and for me to really put my heart and soul and get so excited about where the market we are at the moment, and trust me, Queensland market was not like this, or was not always like this. And I just know when the stars is aligned, and I waited for this moment to come, and I think it's finally here. And then with the safety net of this Olympic that's coming, I really think that anyone that is considering expanding their portfolio in Australia to capture the time, I never really do. In my old presentation, I never really capture time. I don't talk. I always talk about long-term opportunity, but honestly, if anyone wanted to capture and expand their portfolio, now is a fantastic time to come in. Now, anyone that hasn't got any investment in Australia, they could consider this, because it's not just an investment; it's an option that you can come and travel, and it's a beautiful city that people would love to come and deserve to have a holiday. It just ticks a lot of different boxes, and I'm excited to see the next figure they're going to announce at the end of the year. And I'm hoping, and I'll be really happy for people that has joining and has bought in any Queensland property, and in SORA as well. So I hope to see everyone again. And
Yeah, I certainly pick up a few really key things from your presentation today. And I think the first thing one thing that you talked about is Brisbane on the world map after the Olympics. It's going to be big. Yeah. Because, like what you said, once a city is an Olympic city, it will always be an Olympic city. Doesn't matter even before or after. And everyone will talk about Brisbane after the Olympics. So everyone will know where Brisbane is. And poor Perth, no one will ever know Perth.
No, I think there is a time, because I think when Sydney had their go, we never know it's gonna be here. And I think COVID in a way has pushed us. Like, it's one thing, and then on the other is, because I think globally you're right. There's only, I think, 21 cities, and how many cities it is in the whole globe. The whole global, and then out of all that, we're the lucky 21 city that got chosen. It just I think this is the moment, and I'm excited, and I think this will keep running for some time.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Yeah. And the other things that I really like is that you say people waiting for the perfect things will still be waiting.
I know, right? But I didn't know why. Like, I talk about property, and I actually putting people that are looking for the perfect property, the perfect partner. And after I said that, I'm thinking, hang on a second, did I just say that? Yeah, but honestly, I've met so many people before, and even now, like when I present, they will say, "Oh, Nicole, I really enjoy what you say, but I think I missed the boat." And when they miss the boat, they're really thinking, "Oh," because they feel sorry for themselves, and then they're probably just gonna, ignore it. Trust me, don't ignore it, because the life's still going on. If you miss the boat that was yesterday's boat, today's boat is still selling, and then there's another boat coming tomorrow too. So which one you want to be on?
Exactly. So that is a key point. I mean, when you look at the numbers, you look at everything that you have presented, that all makes sense. So again, there's no perfect properties. There's no perfect that ticks every single box. But today, this has ticked many boxes. Public transport, lifestyle, and what more do you ask for? Yeah. Absolutely. So thank you once again for bringing this fantastic opportunity to our audience here. Let's hope that we will get something happening.
And I'm hoping to see you guys soon.
Yep. Hopefully. WA has to open. All right. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone.
I will see you guys again in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye and good night, everyone.